Back here. Hey, I just popped into my buddy Dean's house. He's one of the very few people I can talk to in this town. Dean is from England.
Birmingham.
Birmingham. What's your last name, Dean?
Weeks.
Oh. So I come over here a lot and harass him. We always sit and chat and complain. His wife cooks awesome food here. They sell full-on barbecue is what I call it. But he's got a couple of beautiful kids that live here. I know some of you subscribers were asking about bringing kids here and what it's like. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions about your kids and how you got to Thailand. So how do you feel about your kids adapting here in school? First off, are they born here or were they born over there?
My first one was born in Thailand, Phuket.
Yeah.
And my second one was born in England, a little town called Redditch, Redditch Hospital. And we moved over here, and I've got to be honest, it's been absolutely fantastic because obviously it was the biggest, maybe the only worry I had about coming to Thailand was my kids and the education and the effect it was going to have on them. But, oh mate, I mean, within 12 months they were speaking 3 languages. And, they're speaking Thai full on, Vietnamese, Lao, and of course English. So
that's amazing. Their heads are so empty; they just absorb it.
Yeah, I wish mine would. But now, fantastic. I mean, they've been welcomed into the school by the children, and we had a couple of problems in one school, very small problems. We just moved school, and she's coming on leaps and bounds, singing for the
So
school.
you feel like they're learning, they're having a good education, and no problems so far?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely, because like I said, that's your worry when you've got children and you move. Well, when you move house in your own country, it's a worry. So to bring them here was a major worry for me, but so far, touch wood, fantastic.
I didn't bring my camera holder, so I'm having to hold the damn thing in my... It was just an unannounced visit. I said, hey, let's do the interview I've been trying to do for 6 damn months now. So how long have you lived in Thailand?
3 years now.
3 years?
Exactly, this month.
And are you retired from England or?
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
So did you meet your wife in Thailand?
Met my wife in Phuket.
Okay.
Yeah, selling flowers.
Yeah. And your wife is from here, this area?
She's from Patpano. Her family's from Patpano. And that's the 1 year she said, would you like to go and see where I was from? I come here and fell in love with the place.
Yeah.
It's changed an awful lot.
Yeah.
I was probably the only Farang I've seen here for at least 5 years.
I came here in 2010. It was the first time that I came here, and I thought I was the only one here too. I thought I had freaking horns coming out of my head because everybody they stared at me so hard.
Oh mate.
But it was...
My first visit here, I had lines of children following me, and I mean lines, saying Farang, Farang and laughing. And I offer it's fantastic. I had monks coming up to me, asking to touch my skin. I mean, it was freaking me out, obviously. Right. But they was explaining they had only seen Farang on a television, and they wanted to touch my white skin. Let
me set my camera down somewhere so I don't have to hold it up. So you like living in Patpano, huh?
Yeah, well, I love the place, to be honest. Yeah. It's changing a lot.
So have you ever thought about going back to England?
No. I've been back once in 3 years. To be honest, that's enough.
I got to go back and see my kids next year.
It's an awful thing to say, but England isn't England. It isn't the country that I know. It's gone. It's a shame. But touch wood, it's fantastic here. There is hassle. People who are going to move here, you hate the visa situation, and it's crazy, but it's easier than the one in England. It's cheaper and easier than the one I had to get my wife into England. So I don't mind too much about it, but they make a lot of mistakes. And that's why we love Thai people, because they're so laid back.
Yeah.
But being British and American, when it's something really important, you sort of freak out. It does do your head in.
We worry about the stupidest crap. Huh?
Yeah, well, we're taught that. We're taught that,
So
unfortunately.
being here for 3 years, do you feel like you've changed any being in Thailand as far as worrying about stuff?
Well, I've always been a worrier, mate,
Yeah.
to be honest. I've always been worried about money and where's the next thing coming from and one thing and another.
Do you feel
That's a lot more pressure in that here at the moment because I've no pension. We're surviving off the barbecue, beef burgers.
He's got another one on the way too, so his wife's
Yes.
gonna pop any day now,
This
right?
guy's a few
Another
more grey hairs and beards.
Is it another month now?
We was rushed there this time last week. Rushed to the hospital. He was coming.
Where's she at?
She's lying down at the moment.
That's okay.
And we rushed up to the hospital, but they were saying it's only 34 weeks, so they stopped the baby from coming. But the mind-blowing thing, if you move out here, it's a nightmare when something health-wise goes wrong and you're sat outside and you can't speak Thai. But it was a lot better this time because the big daughter can be my translator and it worked out a bit better, but it's a major worry because it's not like England, you're not allowed in with your wife, you know. Even at the birth, you're not allowed in.
So you bought this house, you and your wife bought the house. The wife, it's in your wife's name and your name
Yeah.
too, so.
50, well, 49.51.
So you rented a place out here before you bought the house, right?
I rented the house up by your place,
Uh-huh.
2 minute walk away from where you're living.
What did you pay for it? What was it?
It was a really nice house. It was in need of a decoration and
Yeah.
decor and stuff, but it was a 3-bedroom, 2-story, bit of ground, 3,000 baht a month.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Unbelievable,
Do
absolutely.
you remember what your utilities were like? How much was your electricity and all that?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. I mean, here's nothing really compared to back home, but I mean, what was I paying? Probably water-wise, 100 baht a month. Electric was probably 400 or 500 a month.
I had some viewers that were interested in pricing in this general area, but I told them, I said, you need to come stay, visit for a while, because it's not for everybody, you know? I mean, especially if you don't have family here, you need to come check it out. But I told them it's somewhere around that price range. It sounds like you got a pretty good deal, 3,000 baht. That sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of houses that price. If you move outside of there, you're 2,000 baht a month.
How big is this house?
2-bedroom. Well, I'm going to make it 3-bedroom.
Is there an upstairs?
No, it's a single story. The only downfall with it is the land. There's no land with it.
Yeah.
We've got to be on the side here to keep stuff. But that's the downfall with this place. But I paid 800,000 baht in the centre.
Wow, that's good.
It's nothing.
That's amazing to buy a home for 800,000 baht. You know, that's
Well, at the time, that was about £15,000 English
yeah.
for a 2-bedroom bungalow. But within minutes, in the room we're sitting in here now, which is like a couple of tables for the restaurant and food we sell. If I put a wall in there,
Yeah.
it's become a 4-bedroom in minutes. Because the living room's there, which the living room now I'm going to make into another bedroom anyway, because we sort of live out here.
It's so cheap to get anything done and remodeled. The problem is getting somebody to commit to do it. I'm not asking his stories, but he's got a shitload of stories.
Oh dear.
about getting repairs done
Yeah.
in Thailand, but he's a pretty handy guy, so he does a lot himself.
Everything myself now. No, they're okay, but you've got to, if you come out here and buy somewhere, have something built, you've got to be here 24/7.
Yeah.
Do not leave. Because it goes in that here, and it comes out that here. If you say put that there, I guarantee when you come back it'll be there.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
So you lived in Phuket?
No, I spent a bit of time in Phuket.
Where else have you lived in Thailand?
Nowhere really. And I used to come, before I was married, I spent a lot of time in Pattaya, the crazy city. It's balmy, but I sort of come for 3 months, went back home for 3 months, come for 3 months. I was just still, well, I was single. You know, you can fly about, you can do what you want, and you have a good time.
So what is probably the worst thing that you don't like about Thailand?
Probably when I started off with immigration. Yeah, it's a pain in the backside, you know. I own a house, it's probably worth what now? 1.5 million notes, that thing's done on it, and all this front done out, and one thing another, but I've still got about 800,000 baht in a bank, and I'm a property owner. I can't see why you've got to sort of be putting that money in the bank, and it's just made so hard when you've got to get these statements, that statements.
That's for a retirement visa.
Yeah, well, marriage visa.
Well, 400 for the marriage.
Yeah, 800,000 for a retirement visa. And,
yeah, they're kind of tightening the strings a little bit more. I think making it a little bit more difficult for people to just. I don't know. I think they're weeding out the people that don't have anything to offer for Thailand, but it is a difficult process. But I always think about trying with my wife dealing with the problems in the United States was a nightmare. You're at the mercy of some guy behind the counter who's going to decide if you can get a green card or not, or it's very difficult to get anything done at all in the United States. And here too, and the thing about here is you can always just come back later or come back, but it's very stressful when you're. Because what do you have? This is your home. You live here. Your kids are here. So somebody says, "Oh, we can't give you the stamp." Then what are you going to do? So it is stressful.
That's the bit that gets me. I'm sort of treated. I don't think I should have special treatment by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. But I am treated the same way as somebody who doesn't own property. That's what I'm trying to say. I've actually invested in the country.
Right.
My wife's actually got a business selling food and one thing and another. So I have bought something into the country. I'm doing something. And I just think I should be looked at not like Thai children, a property, a business being run. I think they should be looking at me a bit different to the likes of the single guys who are just border hopping. Yeah. I think it should just be made a little bit more easy for the guys who, I'm here and I'm here 24/7. But as I say, England's worse than here, so I don't moan about it too much, but it is a pain. You have to go up there every 90 days and they look at you and stamp your thing. What for? It's costing Thailand money for having them people doing it. I wouldn't mind if they was taking 1,000 baht off me. At least they're making some money. But you just go there and just go. And as you know yourself, it's a 50-minute drive.
Yeah. So what is your favorite thing about Thailand?
The people, really.
The people?
Yeah, the people was my main attraction. Obviously, when you start talking about beaches, yeah, they're fantastic. You can't get better. Koh Samui, Hoi Hin, Phuket. They're to die for beach lovers. But I'm a sort of. I had my party in time. I fell in love with this place because I love the people. I think the people from Isan are the best in Thailand.
I agree.
The best, who I've met on travels, and I just fell in love with the place. Why? I don't really know why. Apart from the people, there's not a lot here to do. But that's probably what I was looking for. It's cheap. You can live cheap. I just said about renting a property, £3,000. You can get somewhere to live. If you was a single man and you wanted to come here, and you can get nice rooms, one room with a thing on for like £1,500. £30 a month. I mean, this cost me in England, a 2-bedroom bungalow with this on the front, and £1,500.
The good thing about us is if we want to go to Bangkok or something, we just go to Nicole Phnom, get on a plane and fly over to $1,000 baht, you know.
You're there, what, an hour?
Yeah.
So within 2 hours you're in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Or go to Udon and you can fly anywhere you want, really.
Yeah.
Hours, a few hours driving and fly anywhere on your cheap $1,000 baht flights.
Right.
But yeah, no, I love it here. I love the. But it's gone a little bit too quiet now.
Yeah, starting next month.
No, this month, come in this month. Oh, smoking. This month there's no drinking.
November 1st, no smoking.
So I don't drink in the day.
Yeah.
I've never touched a drink in the day, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
So I'm not having a go and just trying to be a moaner or whatever. But I've sat on beaches in Phuket, I've sat on beaches in Koh Samui, and I watch families and they sit there and they want a bottle of wine with them. They want a beer. That's why they've come on holiday. That's why it's a holiday. Then people probably don't even drink back home in England, the States, Sweden, wherever they're from. So they come out and that's what they want to do. And that's what we all want to do on holiday. Or let's say 80%. I don't drink on the beach, admittedly. I have a drink every night. Because I've never been on the beach in Thailand, seriously, and seen drunken youths. Because they're in bed with a hangover. Because they're out all night.
Yeah.
You don't see, I've never ever, unless you go to a full moon party, you never see young drunken people on a beach in Thailand. It's always families. I've never seen, I can honestly say I've never witnessed a drunken moment. And I'm sorry, you're going to sit down with a glass of wine or a beer of your choice, whatever you want to do. And if you're a smoker, again I don't smoke, if you're a smoker, you want a cigarette because you have a cigarette because you enjoy it. I get all the knob ends going in the sea and that, but why are they not educating the people who have got the restaurant on the beach to make sure it don't happen?
They're definitely making a lot of changes. I try to stay out, stay out of the politics side of that, but I try not to talk about religion and politics, and we all have our different beliefs and reasonings and things. We should all respect, what people believe. Yeah, Thailand's going through some changes. I try not to even back home, our government is screwed up big time. Our country's so divided.
The world.
But I try not to let that affect my life, And one thing I really like about Thailand is the government isn't so much involved in the normal, everyday lives of people, So it doesn't affect them too much, other than businesses. I know they made some changes in Bangkok for vendors and all that stuff, but I think for the most part, people in Thailand, they're not really dependent on the government, are they?
No, definitely not.
So what do you, not to change the subject, because we can talk about this probably
I could go on forever, yeah.
So how did you, people ask me about eating, how to adapt, how do they adapt with the Thai food? Did you miss your food back home? Are you able to get dishes from back home? And
that's why I started this. That's why we sell pie and chips and things, and we have a lot of foreigners, Farang, coming from as far as Nakhon Phanom, 53 kilometers. They're coming here eating fish and chips, pie and chips. Because obviously we're all
You got to remember this when y'all come to visit me next time, to bring you guys over here. I know you're visiting. You may not want to have that kind of food, so maybe you live here and you want to get a taste of home. So.
That's the one. But adapting to the food, I'll be honest. My first 12 months was a nightmare. because just getting to know the area, the people, where the good food was, what it was, and everything. But now, mate, you find the good restaurants. You know where the good food is. You know what they're selling, and it's all about my first 12 months here. I honestly don't think I spoke English, apart from with my children and my wife. Seriously. The first 12 months, because obviously we didn't have this place, that we didn't have Farang who found out about it, I told about it, they had come in now. But I didn't speak English, never mind eat English. I used to come here for a 6-week holiday, and I used to gag for English food. I used to think, what I'd do now, just a bit of bacon and egg. And like, it's impossible. You can get that Thai bacon, it's not good.
It's not seasoned.
It's
not smoked.
yeah, it's very smoked and it's just fat really. After 3 weeks it tastes a bit better and you're gagging for your food. Nah, and that's another reason I ended up here. I said to my wife, that's what we're going to do. We're going to come here and we're going to sell a bit of English food.
So you do pretty good at that.
But I have to have all my stuff, most of my stuff sent up from Pattaya and from friends I've got in Pattaya who've got businesses there making pies, bacon, sausage. You get that sent up and do that. So you do miss the food. Thai food's great, but there is the other occasion when I could do with a bit.
You're very limited when you live in a place like this. Now, if you live in Pattaya or Phuket or Chiang Mai, you've got a lot of options for that type of stuff. You see that everywhere, English breakfast and restaurants and all kinds of stuff. And here, only you, right? That's it.
They're selling hardly any English food now whatsoever. Macro, they sell a little bit. Expensive.
I've learned to make a lot of stuff myself. You can find the ingredients somehow. You may have to change up a little bit, but I've had to make my own. I've tried to buy stuff over there. It's disappointing.
Yeah.
Especially beef. But that guy that you told me about,
Out on the way out.
I'm going to buy beef from him all the time.
Yeah, it's good. And have you been to his restaurant? That used to be really good. I was just saying about my friend Ramo from Finland. He's just been out for 2 weeks. We took him there. It was about 3 years ago. And I'll tell you what, I always told him this would be the best steak you've ever had. And he said, well, I don't believe that because he lived here for a while. I said, believe me, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And we took him there, him and his friend. And he said, this blew me away. But then all of a sudden, whether the chef left or what went wrong, it just sort of went right downhill. I haven't been back since, to be honest. I haven't been back since. But the steak's good anyway. There's a lot of Farang gone over. I think the call for the Farang food here at the moment's gone right down. We've been very quiet with Farang this year. Well, people coming from Nakhon Phanom.
Normally people only come here because they're going across the border and Nakhon Phanom, or they just kind of come here to visit because they're in the area to go on their visa run or whatever.
But there'll be a lot of Scandinavians coming in December now. They always come December for a few months and some for 6 months because they have to go on for 6 months to get the pensions.
Let me ask you a question about the baby, your wife being pregnant. Do you know what that's going to cost you to have that done?
30 baht.
30 baht to have a baby in Thailand. So that's like under $1. So how is that even possible?
But Chuck, that's it, even for ourselves. It's not expensive.
Yeah.
I've had many things where I've been in and I've been pretty sick and one thing and another, and I've come out of the hospital, I've been treated. I cut my head. I was walking up some steps and there's a plastic mould. This pipe went straight in my head. I had to go to the hospital and I had the nurse come, she cleaned it, dressed it, and then I left the hospital with maybe 4 different items on a prescription, 150 baht.
Yeah.
I can't get anywhere near that in my own country.
We're so trained now in our country that insurance is like the biggest thing that you've got to have. Insurance costs more than a friggin' mortgage now, and we got to have it because I don't remember the last time I ever went to a hospital, but to have kids and have insurance, it costs you almost $1,000 a month in America just to have it. And then but here you can get insurance fairly cheap. But to be honest with you, you don't really need major coverage here because it's so damn inexpensive.
Well, touch wood again, like, you know, hopefully we don't need it, so what's the point in spending that money? I don't myself, I go without the insurance because hopefully when you get a bit older maybe you start to need to think about doing them kind of things because if there's an emergency, but hopefully the price is here, you're not going to be that sick where you can go to the clinic. You know, I was really ill for 2 weeks, about 2 weeks ago. I couldn't walk. I had proper flu. I thought it was dengue fever. I was that ill. You go to the local doctor, he's a big doctor in the hospital who's got his own surgery. But the surgery's like a little hospital. You've got x-rays, you've got blood testing there, anything that you need there. And they sorted me out within 2 days. They sorted me out within 2 days. Again, 180 baht. And that included blood.
180 baht?
Having my blood tests done. 2 injections in my bum.
180 baht?
180 baht. I think twice, 180 baht twice. It's incredible. It's and really, really clean. I'd rather go to that clinic than the hospital. But hospitals in England have got a lot better, but they used to be not decorated so often. The hospital's good, but that clinic there, mate, that's cleaner than my house. It's like brand new. It's beautiful. The doctor's really good. He speaks English, which is a great help.
Well, that's about all the questions that I had for you. Just wanted to introduce. I always talk about this.
If you're up there, pop in, have a beer.
Yeah, come get me, and then we'll come over here and we'll talk all day.
Come and have a beer.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.
See you guys.
And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.